All right, joining me now, Deneen Borelli and Danielle McLaughlin. Deneen, by the way, I should also let the audience know today that AFL-CIO endorsed Keith Ellison for the next Democratic leader. So I'm very confused about unions. I'm very confused about Democrats. And what the hell is going on here? You know, I'm just confused. I'm really confused.
Yeah, good question. But I think Donald Trump, what he said is what a lot of union rank and file employees are thinking. Because you're in the union, you got to pay these dues, you got to march to their orders, to their demands, whether they're in your best interest or not. And I think union leaders, especially this Chuck Jones, he's doing a disservice for his employees. And union leaders are only looking out for themselves. They're not looking out for the rank and file employees, and they support progressive politicians. You mentioned Keith Ellison, for example. He opposes the Keystone XL pipeline. He is for global warming regulations. That harms jobs, that harms hardworking Americans.
Danielle, it feels to me that what we're seeing being revealed, the curtain is being removed, and progressive sources of progressive power, civil rights organizations, other kind of grievance organizations, unions, we are finding out that the real source of their power has never been the ability or even attempt to help people, but spreading of fear and victimization. I mean, how could a guy in the union diss Donald Trump for saving any number of jobs? Forget the actual number, for saving any job. Why would he even attempt to diss him like that? And by the way, publicly call him a liar.
What I think he did is something that we should all think about, and that is that truth is not partisan. Donald Trump did a really good thing in the sense that he saved jobs. He's talking about things that really matter to Americans: jobs, economic security, national security. But Chuck Jones doesn't get that. What Chuck Jones said is that he lied about the number of jobs that he saved.
So Chuck Jones is quibbling about the number of jobs.
What matters here is truth. And what Chuck Jones did is speak truth to power. And I think we should all be holding Donald Trump to that standard, because I really don't think, and I would say most Americans would agree with you, that truth is not partisan. And that's the point here.
I hear you. I don't think that's the point, Deneen, because the point is Donald Trump went out and did something. He's not even in office yet. Right. He did something that was rather miraculous. And there are either 500, 800, or 1,100 families who in Indianapolis who are going to have an amazing Christmas in the next couple of weeks, who probably would not have otherwise.
Sure. Well, how many jobs have left the country under President Obama in the last 8 years? I tried to look that up, and the numbers are staggering. But when you think about the regulations, Charles, that are harming hardworking Americans, Donald Trump is talking about rolling back these regulations, especially in the fossil fuel industry. He's talking about lowering taxes for individuals and for businesses. What is the Dow? What did the Dow close at today? It's still over 19,000, right?
We're real close to 20,000.
Yeah, so I mean, the economy is just rocking and rolling a bit since Donald Trump has said, the different things he wants to do to help our economy grow.
Well, Danielle, do you think the unions, and again, all these other progressive sources of power or persuasion, will understand that no matter how they paint these encounters, that they lost big time? And I'm not talking about lost the election, they lost their members. A lot of blue-collar union workers voted for Donald Trump,
absolutely right,
and that's why he took Pennsylvania. That's why he took Ohio.
Absolutely right.
That's why he took these states that the Democrats thought they had in their back pocket.
You're right. I mean, he made inroads into union country in a way that no Republican nominee or candidate has ever done. And so I find it a little bit confusing that he would lash out on Twitter at a gentleman who is the head of a union organization, because these folks are a part of the Trump coalition.
Well, I don't think this guy is. I think this guy is part of the establishment that has told the world, including their own workers, that everything's okay, when plainly, to Deneen's point, everything hasn't been okay. And people are no longer hearing that. They're saying, hey, you've been ripping me off, you've been paying my dues, you've been doing things with it I don't like. Here's a man who may help my family a lot more than you have.
Here's another thing that unions have done over the decades. They have helped with collective bargaining so wages are better. They help with health and safety regulations so that workers are protected. And so I think we have to balance the power and good that unions do with your concern about speech and compelled speech. And we've seen actually cases in the Supreme Court even this year over compelled speech.
All right.
So as I've always,
you guys are too young to remember. There used to be a commercial, look for the union label. And everybody used to sing it.
I've seen it on YouTube.
Look for the union label. And that's what people would do, right? People believed in it. And the union leadership lost that for the union worker, and it's a shame. All right, guys, thank you both very much.